right around 1966, 67 time frame. I had a friend who died from carbon monoxide poisoning in a car in the winter time. Apparently he went off the road and couldn't get out of the ditch or whatever and left the car running. But when you have a car running like that in, tight area like that, like a car sitting on the snow, the exhaust fumes start to seep into the car, see? That's what happened. So he died that night in the car. He was a close friend, and this happened in Toronto, Ontario. Until then, I've always heard stories, well, I experienced this and I experienced that. I just brushed it off and never did believe it. It's a story, I listened to it, but I never believed it. And that night was a very clear night. The moon was clearly shining down. I mean, it was really bright outside. I could see through the window in my bedroom. I woke up around 2 o'clock after midnight, and I looked at the moon, and it's all there's to it. So I rolled over to go back to sleep, and shortly thereafter I felt somebody laying down beside me. I mean, actually the bed moved, and I didn't think anything about it. I thought, well, maybe somebody came in, decided to spend the night, My brother was in the next bedroom. So I thought, well, why didn't this person go and sleep on the couch, And I could feel this person moving around on my backside. And I tried to go back to sleep, and I thought, hey, maybe I should find out who this is, So I turned around, and there was nobody there. There was nobody there. And I questioned myself. Am I going crazy? Did I have a dream? No, I just woke up a minute ago and I was looking at the moon, and I didn't have a stroke. I'm not going crazy. I'm okay, This is for real. But there was nobody there, so I just went back to sleep. No other experiences that night. So I got in the morning. I get up. I used to get up at 6 because I had to start work at 7. So I got up, and my brother was just coming out of the bedroom when I came out of my bedroom. And I could tell by the look on his face that he had some experience, And I knew right away, so I said, you too? And he said, yeah. Somebody was sitting at the foot of my bed all night. That's what he said, all night. So I said, well, somebody came and lay down beside me. And I turned around to see who it was, and then there was nobody there, I said. It's got to be somebody so close that we know, whatever. I've heard of stories like this where people would experience something from someone who was just about to pass on, see? And that's what came into my mind, knowing all these little things that I've heard about, and I concluded that maybe that's the reason. So, we didn't mention it again, and at the end of the workday, I kept thinking about it. And then we got the word that a close friend of ours died on the highway that night, see? And the story from that sort of thing is some people that pass away do not believe that they're dying, they're dead. So they're not ready to leave the world, see? So they hang out. These are the spirits that get talked about often. people losing their way, not knowing where to go after death. So that was my conclusion from that experience. Now I'm not a doubter anymore. I believe in that because of that experience. I wasn't crazy when it happened, and my brother experienced the same thing the same night. So that made me a believer, not a skeptic about that anymore. I'm not saying that I'm not a skeptic on everything, but that particular thing, I can say I've got experience. It happened. That's all there's to it. And I have a witness, a younger brother who had the same experience that same night, same building. So, but before that, never had any experiences like that, but I've heard of them. I've heard of people having experiences just when a person has passed away or about to pass away. That this person moves around visiting, or this person had just died and then goes around visiting, letting his or her friends know that she's no longer around. Those are the things, those are the ghost stories you hear. That's the spirit side of it. So, in our culture, we believe in the spirit world, that there is a place for spirits. There has to be. Because clearly they're still around. People notice it. Some people notice it more, and then there are some who don't.